around. I was thinking about one of my favorite things about summer, and it's the sizzle. Can we just for a moment appreciate the sizzle?
You're so right, Courtney. And this is what I love about this steak. This steak, our 4-ounce black Angus sirloin, as soon as we put it on the grill, we get that beautiful sizzle, and watch how quickly these steaks will cook for us. And
do you hear that?
Yes.
That is so
and
good.
That smell. And we start with black Angus, and if you look at those steaks, when you look at the marbling inside of a black Angus steak, that's what gives us the flavor. So it gives us the tenderness.
Yeah.
And at the butcher shop, one thing that we make sure that we do is that every steak that we're going to get to our guests is going to be just like we gave to our moms. So you can see when you take a look at our butcher shop, we're aging this beef just like we do for the restaurants all over the world. So that product's been aged 21 days. It's going to come to you individually vacuum packed, but the key is there's always a trained butcher's eye on that product. And our simple rule of thumb is if we wouldn't prepare it and give it to our mom, we wouldn't give it to our guests. So there's always a Rastelli family member in the butcher shop, always preparing product for our guests week in and week out.
And that makes so much sense because moms have the most opinionated opinions and will always shoot you straight. And one of the best values I think tonight that we can give you for the show is not only for your 4th of July, but truly for your summer culinary palate. This is going to be 4 8-ounce black Angus sirloin steaks. So you heard Ray talk about that just moments ago, the quality that you're getting. But if you take a look at this perfect specimen of a carb, it is everything that you hope for when it becomes a potato, because this is a twice-baked potato that you're seeing here with incredible seasonings. All of this comes home with the steak and the potato for about $8.75 a servings, which coming from one of the best butcher shops in the country, that's not bad. Less than $70, plus we have the easy pay. What is it that you, out of all the times of the year, love about steak and potatoes for summer?
What's really simple about steak and potatoes, and you saw how quickly I just put those steaks on, Courtney.
Looks so good.
In less than 4 minutes, we're going to create what is a great steak and potato dinner. And the steak is always the star of the show, especially when you start with the black Angus steak. And look at the texture and the moisture that's in that steak. Remember, this is an all-natural steak. There's nothing in there except the pureness of Angus beef. And when we look at that and we look at that texture, that's really what makes a steak from a steakhouse great. And that's why everyone says to me, why is a steak great at a steakhouse but never at a grocery store? It's simple. Because these steaks are black Angus. That's what goes to the restaurants. And they're aged 21 days. And you can taste the difference.
Well, you just get on to cutting, because I'll tell you, these are the kinds of steak where when you're around them and people are cooking, because of the quality, because of that sizzle and flavor, your mouth just stays open the entire time. You're like, when's dinner going to be ready? Now, you've paired this with a twice-baked potato. Does that have a little cheese in there?
It does. So what we've done here, to make that perfect steak and potato meal, and as you mentioned. I just want to hug you. That's
so
good. See how
good.
simple that is?
That's just so great.
But these potatoes are really special. And here's what we do. We take an Idaho potato and we bake it. And then we pull that potato out after it's completely baked. We scoop it out, but then we fold in 3 different cheeses. We fold in our Monterey Jack, our blue cheese, and our cheddar cheese. We then pipe it back into that potato and bake it again. So we've taken basically what would be a 2-hour project for you. And Courtney, do you know, in your microwave, in 4 minutes, you've got a great potato. And look at this.
If this is 4 minutes out of the microwave, I only want to cook out of the microwave.
That's what that is.
I'll tell you what that is. That's goodness.
And look at these steaks. So we're basically looking at a very, very simple process. We've got the 4th of July coming. This is a great steak on the grill because it has no fat, so you're not going to get flare-ups. It also, with 4 ounces, is a great portion size because there is no fat on it at all. 100% fat-free. There is no fat on the outside. But what I really love about this combination is look how quickly we've made a beautiful steak.
Oh, look at those sear marks.
I had some veggies on there.
Fresh veggies.
A little bit earlier, right? A little bit of cucumber because I'd love to grill some zucchini we got here, right?
I was about to say, that's amazing.
And our baked potato, twice-baked potato.
Look how gorgeous that is.
So in less than 4 minutes, we have created a beautiful black Angus steak, a twice-baked potato, and just a great summer dish that's that quick.
Well, and you know, a lot of this you might even already have growing in your garden right now. It's
Yes.
$8.75 for, again, 8 portions of steak with the potatoes. This is something you can get on auto delivery, and it's certainly always nice to keep around the house to have, because you talk about gourmet. I mean, we try to say this every time that you're on air, but there's only one 7-star restaurant in the world, and you supplied the beef. Like, you are their go-to guy.
We do, you know, and we're so proud of that. We've been doing it for a number of years, and there's a reason why. Because there's a trained butcher's eye on every steak that we send there. And just like our butcher shop, when you walk into our butcher shop, you're going to get that same attention to detail. And
Let me ask you this, because
Yes.
you're a butcher guy. Do you support the same bite with the steak and the potato, or do you like to keep them separate?
Well, I kind of like to keep them separate, but it's really up to you. You know, and the reason I like to keep them separate is the black Angus steak just has such a rich steak, and it's just so incredibly moist. And that potato with those 3 different types of cheeses, it really is nice and moist and just accents the steak itself.
Well, and it's so completely different, because you think about reinventing a potato, 3 different kinds of cheeses, and then you're like, why don't I always put 3 different kinds of cheeses on anything in general? And you managed to do that. Now, is there any seasoning that comes with these steaks, or should I?
There is.
Okay.
So there's a packet of seasoning that comes with the steaks, and that's the seasoning you're tasting on there now. We also put a little card in here that really gives you different ways to cook this steak, because it's such a versatile steak. And here's what I love about this sirloin steak is it cuts with a fork. Look, with a fork.
And is that the black Angus difference?
That's the black Angus difference. That's the Western corn-fed beef, but it's also the aging process.
Yeah.
And that's such a difference between what you typically would get at a supermarket versus what you would get at a restaurant.
Well, I will tell you, I'm not sure which I love more, the steak or the potato. And I'll tell you, both have great stories and totally original. Great way to entertain. I will say, since this is the season of weddings, if you're getting the families together, great way to do something really nice, and again, very full of flavor. 8 of the 4-ounce black Angus sirloins, plus the 8 5-ounce baked potatoes that you bring home for $8.75 a portion. You know, I can't think of anything better than this little combo than add a little surf and turf.
Oh, you know,
that
that
never
would be
hurt
great.
anybody.
Absolutely. With that crab cake, that'd be wonderful.
Absolutely. 200 remain in our Graham and Rollins 10-ounce 5-ounce classic crab cake. Again, it ships to your door for free from the Hampton Bay in Chesapeake, Virginia, which we love, which is so nice. So get a hold of those crab cakes, because I tell you, they don't come here often enough. Is this what I've been hearing about that nobody will tell me?
This was the big
Can
secret.
I just be here for the
You can
opening
be
remarks?
Here. We're going to Memphis for our 520 teas. Brand new from Memphis.
Yes.